Hi, I'm Annie Owens, and welcome to My Dimensional Life. As I said before, I've been abducted by aliens since I was a little kid, had abduction experiences as an adult, but I consider those experiences. I've also dealt with paranormal since childhood, all through adulthood. I have very many experiences, a lot that I don't quite fully understand. As I'm working my way through it, I'm trying to put it out there. I want other people to understand so that they can learn to develop their own way of understanding things. I'm not here to tell you what to believe or what not to believe. As I've said before, ask about it, pray about it, meditate about it, whatever you do to get your own answers. I think that's the best way to go. I'm here to teach you, if at all possible, to listen to yourself, because when it all comes down to it, it is yourself that you need to listen to. Um, I had a question by Paul Walker 2.0, and he had asked me about secret space program experiences. And I said, yes, I have, but probably in not ways that you would ever experience it. I don't even know how, other than to explain it to you what exactly happened to me. So I wanted to bring this up. What ended up happening was with me is I got really, really good at meditation. I taught myself. I was very interested. I engaged myself in ways to be able to open up my mind to get my own answers about things. And I got really good at it. It took several years to actually get to that point of getting really good at it, but I was just practicing all the time, all the time. And it is a very different thing, and the fact that you have to get used to the thoughts going through your mind but not focusing on it, because to say, oh, you're not supposed to think anything anymore, no, that's just not what happens. It's learning how to allow the thoughts to come through but not focusing on it, because your mind is always working. And so you're focusing on it, and the fact of focusing to not focus. I don't know how to explain that. But, anyways, if you get into meditation and you're really good at meditation, this may help you. A lot of times I got to the point where I would say, show me something really cool that I need to see, or maybe that I need to know. And I had this one day, and it was in 2018. And they were just starting with, it was Trump was in office, and he was talking about starting the Space Force. And I was like, wow, that's kind of interesting. And I remember going into meditation, and that slight thought actually came through my head. And as I told you before, or maybe I haven't, but I journal everything that happens to me. That's how I have the full memory of it, because you start losing bits and pieces when all these experiences are happening to you, especially the alien experiences. They come through kind of like a dream state. Even though you were just there, it's almost like a dream state. It's kind of hazy. If you don't write it down, you start forgetting little bits and pieces of it, just like you would like a regular dream that you have, because of the state of mind that they put you in at the time. And so I got really good at journaling it, and that's how I know the date of when this was happening. But as I was meditating, I said, take me somewhere that I want to see, or something that I should know. And I literally was pulled out. I don't know if it was astral projected out, remote viewed. I think it kind of as a combination of the two, but I think after reviewing everything that happened, I think it was more of a remote view, because the way that I got caught at it. And so, anyways, all of a sudden I see myself being pulled away from the earth, and I look back, and for you flat earthers out there, I'm not trying to tell you what to believe, especially to my brother Fred, who is a flat earther, that he believes that. But you know what? I believe you can believe whatever you want to on this earth, on this planet. But I was shown the earth, and it was rounded. It was kind of bulging in the center. But I turned, and as I turned, I literally didn't really get to see the craft so much, as I was pulled into the wall of this craft. And it was a distance from Earth. It was not in Earth's orbit. And so as I get pulled in, I'm all of a sudden in this very long corridor. This corridor is probably about 100 feet long. It is honeycomb shaped. It is literally 35, 40 feet tall. It's huge. It's massive. And I see people, they're humans, and they're walking up and down this hallway. And they're wearing this dark blue uniform, top and bottom, that were very well fitted, but it wasn't tight on them. They looked very comfortable. And they were walking usually two at a time, and they have these glass pads in front of them, and they're like typing stuff into it as they're walking up and down this corridor and this hallway. And they're walking right by me as if they couldn't see me. And I kept having this voice, and this is the voice, I believe, is the one that showed me what I needed to see. And it was a female voice, and it goes, you're going to get caught. you're going to get caught. They're going to see you. And I was like, I don't care. I don't care, because I was there. And anybody who's meditated, you know that when you see things and you're shown things through meditation, that you get to where you have to stay very calm. Because if you raise your vibration or lower your vibration in any way, it literally can pull you out of the meditation itself. And next thing you know, you're just sitting there back in your body and like, what the heck just happened? And so I was trying to stay calm, even though I was very excited about what I was seeing. And as they're walking up and down these corridors, they have a badge, and it's on their shirt, the shirt badge. And as I was looking at it, I was thinking to myself, because I was trying to read it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what is that? And I'm thinking, what? This is nuts. There's a Star Trek symbol. My older brothers used to watch Star Trek when I was younger. I was kind of forced to watch it. It wasn't something that I was really into, but my brothers, being boys, you know, so many of them, they kind of overruled what was on the television. It's not like today where, oh, I'll just go watch it in my room. We had one television in the living room, and so I had to watch what they watched or didn't watch anything at all. And it was always that Star Trek symbol. And I'm like looking at that and I'm like, why am I seeing a Star Trek symbol? I didn't understand it. It had two banners that kind of went across it. The badge was gold. It looked like there was some type of globe or like a circle thing behind it. I didn't know if that represented the earth or exactly what that was. But as I'm looking at it, I'm like, why am I seeing that? That doesn't even make sense, you know? And they're just walking up and down this corridor hallway that I understood connected two different sides to whatever craft this was. And as they're walking up and down, they just ignored me, didn't see me. I was there by the wall, just kind of like watching them walk by, trying not to move too much. Next thing you know, from the opposite direction, all of a sudden this man comes walking down the hallway. He's not looking at a glass pad at the time. He's just kind of walking up the hallway, and he has very hard features, like a person who's been through a lot in their life. Very ancient looking, like Aztec, Mayan, Latino. I don't even know. It was very, very hard features, very wrinkly face, very dark complexion, and he was wearing the blue suit also, or the blue outfit also, with the same badge. And all of a sudden, as he's walking by, and this voice keeps saying, you're gonna get caught, you're gonna get caught. All of a sudden he turns and he looks at me. He looks at me dead in the eyes, and I go, oh crap. And I literally pulled myself out of the wall, because as I told you, it was like the whole of the ship, I don't even know, this corridor. I pulled myself out. As I pulled myself out, I found myself floating, and I turned back towards where the earth was at, and I was slowly coming towards the earth. And as I was slowly coming towards the earth, I literally saw a bunch of, I don't even know what, it was like crafts, debris. I didn't know what it was. So I asked the voice that was with me, and I said, what is this? She says, this is a bunch of different crafts of different beings that are watching this planet. And I'm like, there's no way. I said, if there was that many that surrounded the whole earth like that, I said to her, then how are we getting sunshine? Because there was like only little bits and pieces that I could see. And as we got closer, I noticed they were different types of craft. It wasn't always all the same type. There are a whole bunch of different crafts. And I said, then how are we getting sunshine that comes to the earth? And she was talking about, I don't know, some type of technology that makes the sun to where it reflects around the object and it goes through, so you don't even see them. They appear invisible, but they're there, but it allows the sunshine to come into the earth. And I was just kind of blown away by that fact, you know. Next thing I know, I'm back and I open up my eyes and I'm like, whoa, what the heck was that? So that was my experience. But I did want to show you real quick. I'm going to pause you for a second and go ahead and put this, hold on. Okay, I just wanted to show you. As you can see in my journal, I do journal it. And the secret space program, what I was trying to bring up was that I believe that this all came about, and this is my own personal belief, that this all came about with Trump. Like him, don't like him, it doesn't matter to me. I believe that politics and everything is always just a way to separate us anyway. But I believe that it was all brought out because there was a secret space program. And it's kind of interesting that he was talking about starting Space Force. And when they started, they were talking about emblems and badges and how they were going to get these badges set up. And if you look at it now, it's very close to what I had drew in my journal. You know what I mean? The Star Trek little symbol that's on it and everything else. And at the time when I remote viewed this, and I believe it was a remote view, when I did that, there was no emblem even made up yet. And when they started bringing it up, now if you look at the emblems now, it's pretty dang close to what I had already drew before it ever even came about. So anyways, I did want to share that with you, and thank you for asking that, Paul Walker 2.0. All right, well, until next time, if you have any other questions, I'm more than happy to share it with you. If I don't have an answer, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to make something up. I'm going to go ahead and just tell you, hey, you know, I wasn't shown that, or I don't know about that. I'm here to share my experiences with you, and I do like the interaction so that I know what you would like to know more of. I do have a lot of paranormal experiences that I want to come forth. I always talked about angels, and that's a very special experience to me. I probably will share that later on, but I'm trying to show the progression of how all this is taking place so that you can come and form your own view, your own answers with inside yourself. All right, until next time, we'll talk to you later.